Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. A young man from Queens has recently begun dabbling in Bitcoin. Kiki, so I was out of commission for a week due to surgery, but otherwise everything is fine. Okay, I seem to be doing better now. It's pretty painful, to be honest. Being pretty achy in bed over the past 7 days. I've been trying to tweet as much as possible, but I can't seem to find a comfortable position to do so. In any case, I've finally earned a seat. I won't bore you with details about my life, but I'm back to making videos for you guys. Okay, the results with Simply CBGB are promising, no? In motion is a structure with tiers that are successively higher and lower. We certainly keep a watch on sentiment indicators like this, and this is just one example. Everyone up here was terrified when it happened down there too. I told you this would be an excellent chance, and it is. We're really starting to rise suddenly and as a group now, both in the CBI and in general. That's 30 we've added right there. I believe we reached 29 degrees back in April and are now looking at the low 20s as a possible future high. Exactly at the 23-minute mark, that's where it settled. And now it has broken above the wedge's barrier, a technical bullish reversal pattern. It arose to the point where the wedge could be constructed technically, and it did so. As a result, that wedge is completely played out. Okay. The RSI for Confluence has definitely bolted, and there may have been additional values we were considering. Now what? You know, we're hitting some major roadblocks here. In the absence of existing longs, shorts, or spot positions, I wouldn't recommend looking too long. For the simple reason that a correction might occur and be warranted, I'd rather hold off. A brief high and low to mix things up would be appreciated. However, we have broken through to this level in the CBI. The price action has reached 30, and it has also broken over the April high. In other words, we just put in a new all-time high. I will show you all the levels I am considering if we do retreat, another minor little adjustment here. Then I believe the retreat and the support could present you with a terrific chance. Because I believe we will coil up here, break this resistance, and then start breaking towards this lower level here at the 36 level 35 and the CBI, which is roughly comparable to the 35K mark. I will do my best to identify it for you. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's charts right now and see what we can learn. Okay. When examining ADX for a single Bitcoin, the negative correlation holds. It's a technical issue, yet again. This is neither hopium or any kind of hoax. Facts and figures. Do not disregard the information. Up until this point, everything has been fine. That's why I bought on the dip to the weekly 20. This decline to the weekly bottom line of 20 occurred between April and June. Like I told you before, when there are dips in bull markets, you should buy, not cry. Okay? And here we are, having descended the whole height of the falling wedge. We were able to crack it. We have reached the wedge's technical goal and are currently consolidating within the range. Unfortunately, not many people are interested in what we're up to here. The two bullish remarks I will show you today are the most optimistic about Bitcoin. The 20 and the 55 EMA form the golden cross, the best buy and go indication. As a Bitcoin bull, I've always found this to be an encouraging remark. The result is invariably a drastic, hasty action. Good, this isn't nonsense, the vault is closed. Also, we're breaking out of the weekly Gaussian channel, so if we lose this weekly 20, we'll want to see this area of hold as support. I've told you this before, but whenever it's returned to that support, it's never felt like an opportunity. That said, it has worked thus far. That's fine, since that was a pretty big change right there. And now, right here, is where we're making a huge change. That's why we're prepared to put up a fight. We have, however, poked her head above the customary level. It looks like the resistance has finally been broken. Therefore, this is an even greater peak. An impulsive wave, then. Okay. Thus, we should theoretically return to support, pause there before continuing forward once again. Is there anything else that bodes well for Bitcoin? What we've done here with a weekly Gaussian channel for the DXY is flip it red, which is a positive indicator for Bitcoin as the inverse connection with the DXY continues. Just like how Bitcoin did in the past when it broke a move above the Gaussian and then fell back to the neckline support and then Bolton, the last time we flipped red for the Gaussian channel was in 2020. Yes, this is the solution I've been seeking. My only hope is that Bitcoin keeps trading above the upper Bollinger Band and the 20-week moving average. If we let that go, it will be too late. Okay, we need to consider a more significant decline, perhaps a zigzag to the negative. But it doesn't seem like we're going crazy right now. I have to take this break here seriously. You've held it, you're holding it, and now it's left this enormous swing in the market. I'm considering the ABC if we adopt a strategy like this, in which we gradually establish lower highs and eventually break down. But right now Bitcoin is engaging in a lovely impulsive corrective move, and it seems to want to keep going in that direction. And a red DXY is one of the most bullish signs we can look for because that's what happened in 2020, which triggered a huge impulsive surge. It happened in 2017, too, when Bitcoin made a similarly large, sudden price change. Again, this is not hogwash or hopium, it's actual, hard data. We also need to take the numbers seriously. Up until this point, everything has been fine. Bitcoin has a tantalizing appearance. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart and see what's happening right now. So, with the breach of this falling wedge, this incredibly tight falling wedge, we are printing a bit of a bearish divergence in Bitcoin's weekly time frame. Take a look at the spot where we do the wedge, a broken out back test. Remember how everyone asked you that question on the way down here? But look, there's the broken rising wedge right there. The stock price eventually recovered, only to start falling again. In principle, we should be able to print out those actions rather faithfully. You go lower than where the wedge was formed, then go higher again before breaking. If we can keep up this level of support, then this is what we're looking at. So, where do we stand now? Therefore, a bearish divergence exists at the moment. Because we ran into resistance right here on this eye back in April, the data is recorded in charts. Then we return to this descending wedge-shaped range. After that, we dropped all the way back to a good place to buy, right? This is also where people went to purchase Bitcoin when they weren't in the mood to do so. The situation was terrifying. Everyone was sure Bitcoin would break through the 20-week moving average if support was lost. But, just like in this case, we returned in a very unorthodox ABC fashion at number 20. The fact that it did that presented a chance. And, as I told you, I see this as a window of opportunity. It was on every preview. We anchored ourselves and then broke free. I'll be completely honest with you, I have paid for some of my own spot and long positions here. Just there, I came up a little short on the resistance. Erratum, ABC on my way back, I was hoping to find a high-low, but it had already taken off. Okay. I'll be honest and say that they ran off a little faster than I had expected. So I got stopped out of that little short, but I was piling up Bitcoin the whole way down by hedging my longs and shorts. I am not an idiot, so I have already compensated myself for my efforts in this area of resistance. And you're willing to keep up that fight. At this point, long and spot traders might consider taking some profit. I'm going to tell you the truth. I haven't completely emptied my inventory, but I do cash in on any opportunities for a modest profit. And that's precisely what I've done right now, and now we're seeing this bearish divergence of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's recent decline is therefore not completely unwarranted. So if it does pull back a little bit, given the bearish divergence that we now have where we have the high and the level high and then the RSI, we have the high and the lower high, I am looking for a higher low off this structure, okay? For the simple reason that I need this. Just like in 2020, when we negotiated a high-low deal and promptly left. Therefore, I believe that if Bitcoin begins to pull out this 70 level, it would be a tremendous, massive bullish statement and may lead to a massive, massive surge for Bitcoin, similar to what happened in 2020 and into 2021. Consequently, we are currently at around the same echelons. Like I told you before, the last thing we need is for this pullback here to convert into outright opposition. I would consider a drop to this level in the RSI for Bitcoin to be a warning sign, so it's important that it doesn't happen. Given that there is an A, B, and AC leg, it's safe to assume that this one will be particularly unpleasant. And what we have in the RSI is the A, the beam, which makes a lower high, and then we drop like a stone towards the end of the year, with Elise coming back to test this back test of resistance as support basically for Bitcoin, and then the price action will come back into some kind of big ABCD zigzag like this. It's possible that the market will retrace through the weekly EMAs and the Gaussian until it reaches the first support level from which the initial macro wave 1 emerged. Right now, I have to take the numbers and graphs seriously. Technically speaking, this is positive as we are closing above the Gaussian. We reached a new peak. Our plan is to rest, make sure we have range support, and then strike again. That's why I wouldn't bother bringing my suitcases here. I would wait for a pullback, support, retest confirmation, and then build up my long positions again if I were not already invested in Bitcoin or long at this point in resistance. So, I think this is the best time to short with a stop above the wick high. Okay. In other words, we're just going with the flow at this point. So, a reversal is what we're watching for in the RSI. Do not let this slip away at this low price. Doing so would be extremely bearish and might portend an A, B, or C. But for now, I have to listen to the numbers. We've closed above both support and resistance, which bodes well. In all likelihood, Bitcoin will make a huge impulsive move if we can maintain that support. In other words, I'd like to see Bitcoin maintain a price near $28,747 for the next few weeks. This is a topic that piques my attention because we really performed something similar in the year 2020. If you look at this gap in the Gaussian, you'll see that once we broke out, we corrected all the way back to the top of the Gaussian's range for a few weeks. Consider the weekly 20 EMA and the Gaussian channel if you were constructing bets on the high and low of this structure in 2020. In short, you're in for a terrific time. There is currently no bias, so take it as you will. A solid foundation is essential. The exponential moving averages, EMAs, and the upper end of the Gaussian channel are providing support, so if we can keep this level intact, Bitcoin might be gearing up for a tremendous explosive move that will come up and breach that level there. I expect Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high if it breaks above the 70 level and the RSI in the coming months. It's not wishful thinking or hopium, but actual research. If you did, good job keeping up. Maintain your strength and health, and stay tuned in. However, I am planning to reload at Bitcoin 28747 if the market corrects. If you did, good job keeping up. Maintain your vitality and strength. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.